Welcome everyone to Action Reaction, our action movie podcast where each week we select a theme to talk about and two movies around that theme to introduce to one another. My name is Zane Simon. I am joined by Troy O'Diamonds, my co-host. And this week we have a nicely themed a nice theme, I think, for the tenor of our show in general. It feels like a very proper theme for us. Troy, what's our theme this week?
This week we're talking about when missions fail. And part of the reason I thought this was a good idea is a lot of military, real and fictitious, is based on structure. And when respect for that structure fails, things start to fall apart. And it can either come from leadership becoming unhinged and abusing their power, or from below, where a lack of respect for their authority when their flaws exposed creates a whole different level of issues. And in one way or another.
Yeah, like I'm familiar with that second part of that. That sounds very familiar to me.
I wasn't done, Zane. I don't appreciate being interrupted.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, well, so sometimes when things are going that poorly, it's just game over, man.
It's true. So we are talking about our game over missions, Aliens reference notwithstanding.
What?
It's not game over, man.
Oh, I don't know.
All right. On that, but before we get to that, I actually, we have a sponsor that we need to present, right?
Yeah. Let's get to the sponsors.
Okay. This week's sponsor is, we're in the modern era of medicine, and so we've got a message here from the Family Heart Center. So,
okay.
Hey, Troy, is it time for that big operation?
Wait, you said heart center. This is on my heart, right?
Well, this may be the most important decision of your life.
I mean, definitely not working.
So come down and talk to one of our qualified surgeons here at the Family Heart Center.
Okay, they're qualified. I like it. Are they going to fix me? What's wrong with me? Oh, no.
We feature the complete Jarvik line, Series 7 Sports Heart by Jensen, Yamaha. You pick the heart.
Oh, sweet. Oh, we get those are the options? Are those the only options? Do I get more?
You may, we have many options, Troy. Extended warranties, financing, qualifies for a health tax credit.
Oh, heck yeah. I hate taxes. Hold on. About that warranty, though, does that cover any sort of substances?
That's right, Troy. Extended warranties, financing, qualifies for a health tax credit.
Well, that doesn't answer my question about how far that warranty extends, because I do some pretty rough stuff to my heart.
Call 1-800-555-4444.
Okay, right now in the middle of the show, can we patch them in? How do you conference on this?
That's right, Troy. Extended warranties, financing, qualifies for a health tax credit.
Zane, I need a new heart.
And remember, we care.
Oh, I don't care if they care. I care if my heart works.
That's 1-800-555-4444.
Is it Adderall proof? Oh, I feel like that read left us with more questions than answers.
Dude, I am a little more worried about your heart than when we started. It's true.
Me too. It's really going right now.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, call 1-800-555-4444.
I don't have a real phone.
Okay. Well, that's other problems. Bigger problems, perhaps. Getting back to our theme, though, mission failure, something we're both very familiar with. And I'm fascinated to know what have you brought me in terms of failure today,
So
other
before,
than yourself.
thank you. Before we get into the name of the movie, I want to just let you know what happens before we even get to the title card of this. We get a voiceover saying there's a portal to an ancient city on Mars. How excited are you for this movie, Zane?
We've already done Total Recall, right? This isn't Total Recall again.
Oh, no. We're not doing Total Recall again.
Damn it, I like Total Recall. We've discussed this.
Look, if you like the portal to an ancient city on Mars theme, then you're going to be very overjoyed with this.
Okay. Take me there. I've got my eyes closed. I'm thinking, I'm taking it in. Bring me there.
So there are people running from an unseen threat on a very futuristic-y, not quite space station-y, but definitely like Mars colony-y thing. And it's tearing people apart. They're screaming and yelling. And a scientist like locks the Star Trek-y sliding doors, and a lady's trying to get through, and just her arm gets through, and it chops. It's hilarious. And he gets in an emergency call before the alien thing gets in and kills him.
Oh, you want to know? Doom, isn't it?
It's Doom!
Oh my god, damn you!
Oh my god, I love this movie so much, and I'm glad that you love it too.
I have avoided Doom like the plague for so long.
Oh man, that you finally get to experience it, because you know what? After we did last week's episode on The Rock, I figured we should do a movie starring The Rock.
Oh, you only you could make that connection so quickly.
Thank you.
Although every time I did have to look up anything about The Rock, looking up posters for The Rock to make the poster, our graphic art for the episode, everything started with Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's right or not, but it is in some way beautiful.
Well, he's a very handsome man. I'll give him that. Credit where credit's due.
Yeah, and he's not even the lead in this. The lead is Karl Urban.
I can't hate that as much. Like, I have a soft spot for Karl Urban. He did Dredd. He did, he got to play Dr. McCoy in the Star Trek reboots. He's carved out a little tiny niche in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, Karl Urban movies is a good genre of movies, quite frankly.
But Doom, like, video game movies are tantamount, absolutely known quantity, terrible genre of movies.
Well, let me tell you about this movie.
Oh, God.
So we start off with basically The Rock finding out, oh, we got this bitchin' dangerous mission in, like, it's just code red, just all the, like, high security, high clearance, whatever, all those words, and crew's got to roll out. And it is a great weirdo cast. There's like the young new guy. There's the creepy horny guy who has drugs on him all the time. There's the uber religious guy who mutilates himself for taking the Lord's name in vain, and a bunch more. None of those are Karl Urban.
It's amazing.
It's fantastic. I love
it.
My
eye twitch is coming back. Okay, yeah, we've got our creepy cast.
Yeah, and so anyways, they teleport to fucking Mars. Any questions yet? Or are you still on board? Are you still on board with this movie?
Okay. What's the principal cause of mission failure? Can you tell me that?
I would say it is go fuck yourself, alien zombie hybridization.
So is it our government that's hybridizing aliens and zombies?
I believe it's a private corporation, and it's not made specifically clear if The Rock and Karl Urban are in an actual military unit, or if it's, look, this isn't RoboCop. They're not making a big grand statement about the privatization of security and sciences.
Yeah, okay, fair. I mean, private corporation in the future can very easily just be our government anyway. So that
Yeah, it's a realistic view of what we're going to have, and I believe they said this is set in 2059.
did the alien and the zombie have to have sex to create the alien zombie, or is it like a medical thing, or what's going on there?
Well, they're not separate things. It's just alien-like stuff, Martian stuff that kind of
Mhm.
operates on zombie rules.
Okay.
Um, but again, this is an archaeological dig first and foremost because there are humanoid aliens that lived on Mars, and they don't know what happened to them, why they went extinct.
Now, I gotta ask you a quick. Do you know, is this like the actual Doom game backstory written in? Have you been researched enough Doom to know, or is that just something they came up with for the movie?
Oh yeah, it's definitely for the movie. In
Okay.
Doom, they release demons from hell or
Oh,
go into hell itself. Where here there is a different, very different method.
yeah. I feel I have this oncoming feeling that it will be me getting released into hell, and
Yeah, essentially.
yeah, maybe next episode.
Um,
I realize people don't, there's not any video of us talking, but I'm thinking maybe next episode you could show up with like the little like spandex devil outfit with the horns and the little pitchfork.
yeah, sure. I mean, I wore my American flag tank top for White House Down. Might as well do that.
All right, well that's all fair then.
Yeah. So moving along, we find out Carl Urban's sister is one of the researchers here, and they walk past like a whole bunch of animals that they're probably testing on in like PetSmart cages. There's like dogs and rats and shit. But then they get to like the actual lab, and she explains like the whole, oh, they found humanoid remains with a extra bioengineered chromosome that made them faster and smarter and stronger and like Wolverine healing e. And so of course Carl Urban's response to her is, if they're so smart, why are they so dead?
Oh fucking god!
You are gonna love this
Oh,
movie.
oh my god! This is no like you were like the Rocket Man thing
That
was
is all this movie. This movie is nothing but Rocket Men, and I love it. It is absurd. I only threw in a couple of one-liners in this because I want you to experience all of them. So, I mean, they find one of the main doctor guys, and he's holding that severed hand from the first intro scene, and the order after that is, let's see if we can find the body that goes with that arm. And eventually
Oh,
they do. They do find the body, and it's a naked lady.
of course it is. Of course it's a naked lady. Of
Like
course.
she's a zombie. She's a zombie, and they have to shoot her, but she's definitely naked. It's like titties at 30 minutes or whatever.
Oh, so, like, but so the aliens make like alien spore whatever genome makes people zombies, or the aliens are zombies, or they're alien zombies.
So alienness is apparently on a spectrum, and
Okay.
the way that it's transmitted is very zombie-like.
Okay.
And like the zombie is like a midpoint on the spectrum to full alienness. But anyways, so there's a reason why I mentioned they had to walk past a bunch of animals in cages. And it's because they find another doctor who ate all those other animals. And there were like several dogs in there. This is like Midwest County Fair eating contest levels of impressive eating everywhere. They kill him and they chase a bigger thing into the
Oh.
sewer. And oh, it's great. It's basic zombie movie rules. It's kind of like the scene in Blade 2 when they go into the sewers, except one big thing.
Oh.
And the
You
super religious. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say you really have a way of melting my brain into feeling like I think I say awful things not to hurt, but because you make me say terrible things.
Are you saying that I am capable of, via some apparent superpower, lowering your intelligence into saying things that you would otherwise never say in polite or even impolite company.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm saying.
Hell yeah, I'm a superhero.
you are
Anyways,
you are the new Captain America of superheroes.
yeah, I just make the world dumber with us. It's perfect.
Oh.
Anyways, the like super religious guy gets zombie bit, and then when he wakes up from being dead, he murders himself on a window like a fucking bird.
God.
It's so good. Also, like another dude gets in a fist fight with one of the monsters in a pit with electrified walls. And another, it's great. They're just zapping each other when they hit the side of it. And another guy dies while he's taking a shit. I love this movie. You're going to have so much fun.
Oh. Man.
Do you want another one liner?
Yeah, give me one more. Give me one. I can take it.
Okay, so Carl Urban's sister, scientist person, knows that one of the alien-ish transformed things that they have kind of trapped in something was one of the doctors, and is like, we can figure out a way to reverse this. We can reverse his condition. The Rock goes over and says, the doctor's condition is irreversible because the doctor's condition is that he's dead, and shoots him in the head.
Oh God! See, this whole I thought I was ready. I was
you thought
not
you were ready.
I was not ready. And
This is
whole
what
time,
happens.
I was trying to come up with a lead for like, did he say? And here's my clever joke. But as you described to me, I thought there's nothing clever that could follow any of this at all.
Nope.
There's no clever joke to be made here.
And there doesn't need to be. It's
Oh.
glorious. Just the way it is.
Oh my God! This is punishment for me making you watch Cold Summer of 1953, isn't it?
What did you expect? What did you think I was going to do after that, Zane?
Troy, darling, I'm not trying to hurt you when I make you watch these movies. I'm not. I feel like you're lashing out at me, and I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to bring you along, and
it feels like you're. Are you sure?
This is all about me trying to help you better yourself, and I don't feel like Doom is gonna better me.
Okay. I know that you're trying, and we can stick with this and try giving it another shot. But in the meantime, we start to get through this bitchin' movie.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No,
so obviously they're trying to do that artificial chromosome thing that the ancient Martians did, and obviously that's making alien zombies by accident, and obviously we both figured that out a long time ago, but like now they know it, and the Rock apparently has to get like the information back, but doesn't want to let any of the zombie things get back, because okay, that's why.
Okay. Yeah, no. That is super compelling. And
yeah, but now this is where we get into the theme of the operational breakdown and
I
like the
was going to
structural
say,
failure.
where does our mission failure come along? Because so far, other than the self-hating religious dude dying, it seems like there's reasonable room for success going on here.
Well, there's also the dude who died taking a shit, and the dude who died in a fist fight with an alien monster in an electrified sunken cage.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Nobody wants to go on the shitter.
Yeah. And so Carl Urban's sister is off getting science stuff, while The Rock is saying like, oh, fuck, it got through the portal. We need to go back and murder it, and gets all the rest of the people back to Earth to start dealing with this zombie thing. Carl Urban's sister, which again, she is a very fully fledged out character for me to keep referring to her that way.
She just has like big cans, right? That's like what you mean when you say fully fledged.
Not really, but they definitely make sure that one of the black guys does not stop hitting on the white lady.
Okay, well,
yeah.
At least
this movie gets its hits in.
Yeah, at least we've held ourselves to that high cultural standard.
Yeah. And so she's like, oh, for some reason, this monster tongue is attracted to the evil person flesh, but not to the good person flesh. I think it just brings out like who you are and amplifies that. Because sure, why not? That's a fucking plot point. Anyways, back on Earth, we have a traditional zombie movie, and it's just The Rock and these other dudes clearing folks out. Zombies going down. He is saying everybody has to go. We cannot break quarantine. And even when like the young rookie guy is like, oh no, there's a group of like 20 people, none of them are infected. They're just scared. Let's get him out of here. The Rock is like, no, we kill everybody, and also you, because you're disobeying orders, you fuck.
Oh, I see. I gotta say, maybe it's just the evolution of the Rock, but that feels very un-Rock like. The modern day action hero Rock is very heroic.
Yeah, this is like when he was taking roles like the Tooth Fairy. I mean, his agent wasn't getting him the Fasty Furies of today.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I wish we kind of kept this Rock though, because I'd much rather have the like I often kill people needlessly in my action movies Rock than the I'm your big buddy who will always be there to save you Rock.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to see him as a menacing giant than it is as like, oh no, I can project myself onto you as a hero in this movie. You're definitely a relatable vehicle. 6'5", 280-pound, just brick shithouse.
Oh yes,
Where I think he was only like 250 in this movie. He's definitely gotten more yoked since 2005, which good for him.
I don't know if you've followed any of his like workout stuff, but it's him waking up at like 3 in the morning to weightlift for an entire day. So,
oh, you downloaded the Rock Clock? You're on the Rock Clock?
I have not downloaded the Rock Clock. I'm just, I just know that he's not far off those like YouTube power lifter steroid dudes who are like, watch me do curls for 15 hours.
Yeah, essentially the same. But this movie gives him a way around that. Also, I forgot an earlier detail. He had to go back to the armory.
Remember all the, you don't need to give me every detail.
Well, this one's important because it comes up near the end. He finds a in the armory, because obviously there's an armory. He finds a gun labeled a really big gun labeled the BFG. Want to guess what that stands for?
I know what it stands for. I'm not that far out of the loop.
Okay, it stands for Bioforce gun for our listeners who don't know.
Wait,
but then when it stands for Bioforce gun.
What?
Yeah. But then when he picks it up, he says big fucking gun.
Okay. I was gonna say that's all it ever stood for.
Yeah, but they give you that little curve in the setup. That's how jokes work. Create an expectation and then you undermine it.
Yeah, okay. Fair. That's maybe that's a little bit of nuance there. I'll allow it.
Yeah. And so like just to get us through to the end of the movie, all the other people are dead besides Carl Urban, his sister, and The Rock. Or also the zombies drag The Rock away, but apparently they just infect him, and then he's, big fucking alien somewhere or turning into one. But Carl Urban gets real bad hurt, like a gunshot bounces off a wall into his leg.
Wait, he gets what?
Carl Urban gets real fucking hurt?
No, you said real bad hurt.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying words.
You and your word saladness.
Yeah.
Go after it. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. I didn't mean to stall you out.
Oh, don't worry. I can ramp right back up because after he gets shot full of bioengineered chromosome steroids, he passes out and wakes up. And all of a sudden, we have a first-person perspective set piece. It's great. He's running and he's gunning and he sets a monster on fire. And like a zombie tries to kill him with a hatchet, but he shoots the arm off. So the hatchet falls from his hand into his head and kills him that way. I mean, like just a blood slurry that's dripping from the ceiling. Another one gets blown up with a landmine. And also there was like an annoying guy with a future wheelchair that he was like fused to early in the movie. And he's like now an alien with future wheelchair hind legs, I guess, whatever. And he kills that dude with a chainsaw.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
You're going to have so much fun. And then there's like the final boss battle with The Rock turning into an alien.
Okay, so I regret it now, but a lot. But I did want to be kinder to you today. So wait, first of all, did the mission actually fail?
given the amount of casualties, both to the unit and civilians, I would say yeah, because it killed everybody on this research facility, killed a whole lot of people just at the teleporter deck on Earth, and killed everybody in the mission besides Carl Urban.
Okay.
Which, by the way, his nickname is Reaper.
I'm not even getting into that, but there hasn't been a Doom 2 to revel in that failure, but it's a reasonable failure. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it failed bad enough there was no one to bring back.
Okay, fair enough. So I was going to be I'm being kind. I'm not going to retract my kindness. I'm still going to be kind. You've made it difficult for me to feel the benevolence that I once did. Because I know I was hard on you with Cold Summer of 1953. I know that was a cruel choice, but...
And I know it's hard to feel anything when you have this much adrenaline from a first-person action set piece.
Yes, okay. That is also to be taken into account.
Yeah, what's your movie? Does it also involve teleporting to Mars, or what
it does not involve teleporting to Mars.
Okay.
Instead, it involves a pseudo buddy cop set piece, not actual cops.
Okay.
Similar setup as Robert De Niro pulls Charles Grodin across the U.S. to collect a bounty.
I have no frame of reference for this. Is Heat? Is that what Heat was?
No, it's not what Heat was. Heat did not have Charles Grodin in it, although he may have livened that up considerably if he'd been there. So you know who Charles Grodin is, right?
No, but his last name sounds like a nickname you would try to get rid of, but nobody will let you because you don't get to choose your own nicknames.
You've seen So I Married an Axe Murderer, right?
No.
No. Okay, wow. This is going to be really tough for me just listing all... You've seen Beethoven?
Is he a gold or a big fucking dog? Is that...
You've seen Beethoven, right?
No.
You have not seen Beethoven even. Man, I thought that, like, some basic shit would really at least, like...
Unless you mean like the Saint Bernard from that series, then I don't know what Beethoven is.
Well, I do mean the Saint Bernard movie. Like,
oh, okay. Yeah, but I only remember the Saint Bernard.
Okay, well, he was the dad, Beethoven.
Okay.
Not the father of a Saint Bernard, but you know.
Okay, good note. Good clarification.
Yeah. Anyway, otherwise known for some other minor movies, but this being his best movie, Midnight Run.
Okay.
And it is, as I say, Jack Nicholson, or not Jack Nicholson, what the fuck? What's wrong with me? Robert De Niro. One of those 70s actors who stayed famous forever, you know.
Yeah, the 70s guy who does really shitty comedies with Morgan Freeman now.
Yeah. Robert De Niro is a bounty hunter, former cop turned bounty hunter, who is tasked by a bail bondsman to find Charles Grodin, whose character name is Jonathan Mardukas, the Duke, and bring him back to the cops.
I'm just sitting here thinking, like, okay, if Jonathan Mardukas is the Duke, then it's definitely like Charles Grodin on the same rules. That's just how it goes.
Anyway, so Robert De Niro, he's tasked to bring Charles Grodin back to the police under arrest because Grodin skipped out on bail. Grodin was an accountant for the mob who stole a shitload of mob money and is now being prosecuted for the theft, basically.
All right.
He's still stealing, technically.
I guess.
And De Niro, he's the bounty hunter who's going to take him back. And De Niro tracks him down really quickly, in a heartbeat, in New York. And he has to bring him back to L.A. And almost immediately, things go totally haywire. He tries to get Grodin on a plane. They're going to fly over. And Charles Grodin immediately convinces him he can't fly. He says, I'm afraid of flying. I can't go on planes. And he causes this huge scene on the airplane, and the pilot kicks them off.
Wait, what year is this?
1988.
Okay, so this isn't when we're just fucking free reign for anybody like in Parallax View. They
No,
actually
it's not
cared about
Parallax
shit.
View where you could literally just walk on a plane and like buy a ticket in the air, and there are no rules around air travel whatsoever.
Okay.
Apparently, at least in the movie rules, I don't know if this is real world rules or not. You're not allowed to transport a prisoner on an airplane if they're afraid of flying.
I don't know if they established that in real world road rules. That's definitely, it seems reasonable.
That is not at all what I meant. I realize that sounds like what I said, but that is not what I meant at all.
We might have a bad connection, but I'm definitely still thinking about MTV reality shows.
Okay. Anyway, so Robert De Niro, he then transfers to a train. They get a little ways with the train, and in the meantime, the bail bondsman who called him up to deliver him, the plane has arrived in LA without them on it. Everybody's confused. So he calls another bounty hunter who is a complete dumbass, played by John Ashton.
All right.
Who was also, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, in Beverly Hills Cop, because this is directed by the guy Martin Brest, who directed Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay, cool. I mean, I feel like in that case they probably could have gone with something a little more efficient to make the plane not work, instead of like, oh no, this guy's freaking out and we're making up a rule for it. Like, just put a fucking banana in the tailpipe.
I don't think planes have a tailpipe, man.
Have you looked?
I have looked, yes. It's not that very hard. Like, I've seen planes before. I'm pretty sure there's no tailpipe. I don't think you can throw a banana through a jet engine and like destroy it. Maybe you can, but they're supposed to be able to survive bird strike.
Yeah, but that would be so fun. Can you imagine just throwing fruits through a jet engine? Just making applesauce with jet engines? I am down for that. Can we do that? Can we rent a jet?
Sounds like some Mythbusters thing. I don't think we can rent a jet. No.
Okay, how much are we making from the heart surgery people? Can we spend our sponsor money on renting a jet to throw produce into it?
Everything we're making on the heart surgery people is to get you actual heart surgery.
Oh, this is a tough moral choice.
You get fruit thrown through a jet engine, or you get the heart surgery you desperately need.
Oh man, this is a really difficult. This is. Do we get watermelon? Can we throw a watermelon through it? Can we Gallagher jet engine?
Can't throw a watermelon through it. That might destroy it.
Okay, well, I need to read through the fine print of the warranty on this heart, because again, it didn't say whether it's still covered under. I don't want to say abuse, but heavy recreational use of amphetamines. So we need to see where we land on that.
Fair enough. So, getting back to the movie, Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin, they're pursued suddenly by this idiot bounty hunter, and I didn't mention this before, but obviously they're also being pursued by the mob, because this dude, Jonathan Mardukas, has a bunch of information on the mob because Charles Grodin, because he used to be an accountant for the mob. So he knows all about their business practices, and the mob sent hitmen out to find him. The bail bondsman has sent a second bounty hunter out to find them, and the FBI is after them as well, because they want to bring this guy in under witness protection to nail this big mobster that he was working for as this huge caller, this huge catch for them. And the FBI director, or the FBI guy, is played by Yaphet Kotto, who you may remember from Alien and Homicide: Life on the Streets.
Yeah, and so if I'm picking up what you're putting down, this is basically the first act of The Dark Knight, but the guy isn't Chinese.
Yeah, okay, I don't know if you're picking up what I'm putting down, but you picked up something, and I'm gonna run with that because that's
Okay.
better than nothing.
All right. Let's see where this is going. Let's see when he gets his
Okay,
mask.
and so Robert De Niro, Charles Grodin, they're being pursued by this other bounty hunter, by the mob, and by the FBI. And pretty much the rest of the movie, he's got this mission to deliver Jonathan Mardukas on this easy midnight run to
Okay.
from New York to LA, and the entire rest of the movie is defined by failure. Basically, their ability to fail uphill. So, like, obviously, the attempt to get him on a plane, that was the initial plan. That would have solved the whole mission in like 6 hours. That fails. They get on a
Right.
train. The other bounty hunter is called. He gets on the train too. He leads the FBI to them. They have to jump off. They get off the train early.
And wait, don't tell me. Next,
Sorry, what? That you skipped out there.
I was just guessing. Don't tell me. The next thing they try is an automobile.
The next thing they try is a bus. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we got our planes and trains first. We got it.
Yeah, planes, trains, automobiles. They get on a bus, and they take the bus to, I want to say it's Chicago.
Shut down.
Might be Philadelphia. I don't remember. Whatever. It's not important. And immediately getting off the bus are arrested. But at the same time they're arrested, a bunch of mafia snipers are surrounding the bus depot, and they start a huge gunfight with the FBI agents that arrest them off the bus.
All right. Sweet.
And so in the middle of this gunfight, Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin escape, and they go visit Robert De Niro's estranged ex-wife, who married one of the cops that was on the police force when Robert De Niro was on the police force and was being bribed when Robert De Niro refused to be bribed. That's your loose backstory is that Robert De Niro is a cop who wouldn't take bribes in a really corrupt police force where everyone could be bribed.
Okay, so we have our Serpico here.
Yeah, essentially.
I'm had no idea if that reference is going to be right. I heard them make a joke about it on Animaniacs when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I'm amazed that got through.
I don't know how you ended up picking up a Serpico reference, but that's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's just through the lens of children's cartoons.
Okay, that makes more sense. The Animaniacs trail makes a whole lot more sense than you having actually watched Serpico.
I'm really good. Okay, yeah, let's keep going.
Okay, so Robert De Niro, they go visit his ex-wife because he needs money. That was the other thing. The other bounty hunter, one of the first things he did was he called up Robert De Niro's credit card company and pretended to be Robert De Niro and got them to cancel his credit cards, so he has no money. And so he goes to visit his ex-wife through Charles Grodin's prodding to ask for money, and that immediately turns into like a horrible failure. His wife does give him the car and the money, but it involves like them yelling about their relationship and their marriage and how like she's fucking this corrupt cop and how he's just a bring down who nobody wants to be around, and his daughter's there and she tries to loan him money and he can't take it because that's super depressing.
But he got the money.
He got some money, and they got a car, and then he calls the bail bondsman that originally gave him the job and says to wire some more money to Amarillo, Texas, where they can pick it up. And they're going to drive to Texas.
Okay.
But it turns out that the bookies is being listened to by the FBI, and not the bookie, but the bail bondsman is being listened into by the FBI. And one of the bail bondsmen is an informant for the mob. So
there's just all sorts of snitches in this, and I'm wondering how many of them either get stitches or wind up in ditches?
None of them, in fact, get stitches or wind up in ditches.
Fuck.
I
That's
know.
making me question a lot of my worldview.
It's stitches. The snitches do not, in fact, always get stitches.
Man, I don't know how realistic this screenplay is then.
You know what?
You know what? It doesn't need to be that realistic. It doesn't need to be true to life. I get that we are still many years away.
Doom. It's not Doom, granted.
Right. What could be?
Yeah, okay. So they get to Texas, and the mob then is waiting for them there with a helicopter and with like more snipers, and a car chase ensues. The other bounty hunters there too to fuck things up constantly, and they end up falling. Like Robert De Niro ends up shooting the helicopter out of the sky, and it explodes, and they jump into a river.
Hell yeah.
And then Charles Grodin has to rescue Robert De Niro out of the river, but Robert De Niro wants to take him back to prison. And so he has to make a decision. Do I rescue him and let him take me back to prison or not? And he gets Robert De Niro to agree not to take him back to prison. And the moment he pulls Robert De Niro out of the water, he's like, yeah, I'll let you go when we get back to jail. And it's just like the most constant failure and asshole-filled journey across the country possible.
Great.
It should be fun. You should enjoy this.
So this is a movie with a bunch of people just constantly fucking things up for each other in very different ways, and a bunch of combat create chaos and nonsense, and everybody constantly loses?
Yes.
Okay, so you're giving me like Venture Brothers the movie.
Pretty much.
Hell yeah. Oh, I am excited for this one. This is actually going to be good.
I don't want you to think that I mistreat you. I don't want you to think that I'm here just to cause you harm. I'm here to bring good things to your life too. I want you to know that.
Yeah, I felt like we were in a rough spell, but I really appreciate you coming and bringing this. It makes me feel loved.
That's what I want. I want you to know that I love you, and to know that I respect you, and I'm just trying to teach you and better you. And this movie will better you, and Cold Summer 1953 bettered you, and all these things together will make you a better person in the end.
I don't know. Cold Summer of whatever bullshit felt like it hurt a bit, but I don't know. So I trust you.
You gotta trust me, Troy. You gotta trust me. I wouldn't hurt you. Okay.
Okay, I trust you then.
So the ultimate point of failure in this movie then is, a lot of the movie is about Robert De Niro's character, Jack Walsh, despite hating the mafia guy that Charles Grodin stole a bunch of money from.
Yep.
Really hates him, but despite hating that mafia guy, still being willing to turn Charles Grodin over to the police, where he will then be killed by the mob in a hit in prison.
Okay. Yeah.
And Grodin, the whole time, trying to convince him not to turn him over. And at the the ultimate moment, De Niro finally, after he pulls off this coup to get the mafia guy arrested in an airport, and like they set up this big sting and all this stuff to entrap the mafia dude and get him arrested, and it's this big success. He rearrests Charles Grodin again, and he's like, okay, I'm bringing you to LA. I got to turn you in. That's just the way it is. And they get there, and the final moment, he sees that he got him there on time. He calls up the bail bondsman. He's like, here he is. Now you're never going to see him again. He lets him go. And it's like the ultimate point of failure with success, where not only did he technically succeed, but he then decides to fail the mission ultimately.
Okay, this seems like a really great transition from when we were talking about Instagram bodybuilders as fail fucks.
Fair enough. Yes, it's true. There's a whole lot of the Instagram bodybuilders about setting goals that you then at the very last minute decide that while you didn't meet them, you technically sort of met them.
Yeah, I ultimately I failed to do what I wanted to do, but along the way, I learned what success really is.
Yeah, Rich Piana would be proud.
Yeah, God damn it. I was into this when I thought it was a Venture Brothers, and now you're telling me it's an Instagram bodybuilder.
Well, it's both. It's both.
Yeah, well, and I guess there kind of is an Instagram bodybuilder on the Venture Brothers. So
I think the Venture Brothers. A lot of what the Venture Brothers is really like cartoonishly depressing failure.
Yeah, it sounds like so is your movie.
Yeah, except at the end, in the end, it's not depressing. It's a little bit heartwarming. It's mostly just it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie that I think you will actually enjoy, and it's an actually good action movie. Unlike all the things you put me through, it's a well-written, well-plotted, well-crafted movie, well-acted movie, actual acting in an action movie.
Yeah, but also it doesn't have The Rock.
And it's not set on the Rock. So
yeah.
It has drawbacks, it's true. There are mountains that you will have to climb, but they're not high ones. They're tiny mountains.
Yeah, this is like if the whatever bullshit Russian subtitles you made me watch last week is Everest, I feel like you probably gave me what they call a ski resort in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that would be about right. It's the well-groomed driveway in Wisconsin of difficult action movies to climb.
Okay, I'm in. And what I gave you is just a goddamn water slide.
Yes. That sounds absolutely correct. Oh, any final thoughts on either movie before we call this whole thing quits?
I don't know what else I could possibly say about Doom that wouldn't just lessen your enjoyment of the dialogue and the one-liners. You're gonna have so much fun this week, Zane.
Oh my god, I like. See, the thing is like people actually like The Rock. There's like a whole group of people when you say, "Oh, I have to watch The Rock." There's a whole group of people like, "Yeah, that's awesome. You're gonna watch The Rock," and I love that movie. That movie is fun as hell. I have never, ever heard anyone say that about Doom. You are the one person.
Me and my friends went and saw it at a midnight release and then bought the DVD the same day it came out and watched it again.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, your friends and not a vote of confidence. I have talked to on Twitter. I know at least a few of the people you are willing to consort with on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, but this is when I was a teenager. They were worse.
Oh Lord. All right. On that note, everyone, you can find me on Twitter at TheZaneTime. You can find Troy on Twitter at PDLMMA. We will be back in just a few days with our reaction episode, which I will try not to just have be 15 minutes of me screaming into the microphone as my soul exits my body in a doom-shaped halo.
And I will be screenshotting our video chat just in case that happens, so that at the very least we get a good GIF out of it.
All right. On that note, you won't see us, but you'll hear us, and we will hopefully get comments or something. I don't know. Write us, give comments, give us a
tweet
like.
At us. Tell us what you think about these movies. It's fun.
Whatever. We will be there. We will be there in slightly removed forms that you can shout at one way or another. So do that, and we'll be back in just a couple days. Thanks, everyone.
Doom, 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 doom.